What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan, and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have another review. We're going to be reviewing the live-action One Piece series. We've done a bunch of videos on this. We watched the trailers in anticipation. This came out on August 31st. Me and my wife binged it by the end of the week, but I wanted to give some time to let it sink in. About what I felt about this series that is about an anime that is really dear to my heart, that I've really just, COVID, 2020 is when I started watching One Piece, and it changed the way I perceived anime, and it changed the way I perceived a lot of storytelling, and it was just such an amazing journey, and I really appreciate the anime for how it can be so simple and funny and goofy, but so serious and deep at the same time. So it's one of the reasons, one of my favorite things of all time, and I really did enjoy the live action adaptation. Want to talk about it now that it's been had some time to settle. But hey, if you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. All right. Further ado, we'll get into it. So the live action adaptation of One Piece dropped on Netflix on August 31st. 8 episodes that pretty much wraps up most of the East Blue arc and the original recruiting of the core members of the East Blue. So you have the cast here. We'll go through their names here. We have Iñaki Godoy. I like I said, I'm pleased if I butcher your names. I apologize. Who plays Monkey D. Luffy? I loved his performance. I felt he is the perfect cast choice for Luffy. I really enjoyed his, that mix of seriousness but goofy, free, fun, loving person, but with that seriousness of when my friends are in danger, when there's a serious situation, when someone's suffering, I know exactly what to do, right? With that, we have to be free. So I really do love his portrayal of Monkey D. Luffy. I feel like it is very, very accurate and very true to the character of Monkey D. Luffy. Emily Rudd as Nami, I felt was really good. She was that serious. I'm the smart one, and I'm surrounded by idiots. Pulled it off really well as the emotional bits of Nami's past and how she feels about pirates and stuff like that. McKenyu, I love that he's only got one name, as Rono Zoro. He was a very serious, well thought out character, brooding, and I do miss the fact that he doesn't call out his attack names, but I'm hoping we get that and I'm hoping we can get more seasons of the live action One Piece, because I think it was very well. Taz Skylar as Sanji was beautiful. He didn't do the bowing down thing, thank you old geezer line, but he did have a really emotional farewell, which I did really appreciate. You got Peter Gadiot as Shanks. You've probably seen him in other things. I think he was a perfect casting for Shanks. Really good choice. Really serious actor. Morgan Davies as Kobe. Kobe was just very excellent as well. And Jacob Gibson as Usopp. And Usopp, the cowardly Usopp, but with always turns it around and is there when you need him. Perfect performance on that point. So I did enjoy the live action One Piece. Certain arcs I enjoyed more than others. There were some changes that I understand and I can understand whether I agree with them or not. It's neither here or there. I don't think Sanji needs the curly eyebrows. I think that is a little bit much for live action. I feel like if you give him the look and give him the character, the heart of Sanji, that I don't think that it's necessary to have the curly eyebrows or the long nose for Usopp. But so we start out with the Alvida arc. It's done a little bit differently. They raid a pirate ship. Luffy's barrel comes crashing in, and he meets Kobe. It's somewhat similar, but them attacking the cruise liner is kind of cut out. They make it really fast. They show off Luffy's powers. They work the flashbacks of how he got the gum fruit into the episode, which is good because it saves a lot of time, a lot of meat and stuff like that. They also made it so that Luffy didn't just find the gum fruit just sitting on the counter. It was actually kind of locked up, and he kind of went snooping, and what he shouldn't have done. So I think that was kind of a cool move to make. But it pretty much plays out the Shanks arc just way, the flashback just the way we thought it would. Most of the flashbacks take place similarly to what we saw, which is actually really nice. There's little changes here or there. They added Garp into the opening scene with the death of Gold Roger, but I kind of felt like that gave it some weight. The kind of shows you the connection that Roger and Garp had from the beginning, instead of like finding out how some way down the line. They did have a little bit of stuff that they took out. We didn't get to see Don Krieg fight against Sanji and Luffy. So they changed that up. That wasn't too big. I really don't think Don Krieg was that big of a character. They were still able to capitalize and kind of expose Zeph and Sanji to the spirit that Luffy carried within him, which is the important part, right? They saw the spirit of Luffy, the spirit of adventure, and that's what made them both think that Sanji should go with Luffy. It didn't really have much to do with the Don Krieg thing. So having that change up of the Arlong pirates coming and taking Nami back and kind of beating up Luffy, that I feel like was okay. It was kind of sad that we missed a lot of things from certain arcs. They combined some of the elements, I think, of the Buggy arc with the Shelltown arc, because we meet Nami there in the first episode, which again is not bad. I don't think that's bad. I did like the fact that Captain Morgan was a bit out of control. It showed that kind of darker side of the Marines. They didn't really show that in this episode, but then he was still kind of like punished anyways. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, he was a bad guy, but we didn't show he was a bad guy. So it was interesting. It was still kind of fairly good. Zoro with the sword play. The sword play was amazing. The Mihawk scene in the Baratie arc was just done so well. I liked how they had the Zoro on death's door was kind of the change up. We're not going to worry about the Don Krieg arc. We're going to let that all kind of go. But we missed a lot of characters like Johnny and his brother that followed around Zoro. We missed characters like the three little kids from Usopp's village. I was disappointed that Mary died. I was hoping that Mary would be alive because he survived his wounds in the anime. I know it's kind of goofy and a kiddie thing, but I feel like I felt bad for Kaya because Kaya was left alone. Like when in the anime, when Usopp left, Kaya had the three little kids and she had Mary, as people that cared about her on the island that she could turn to in times of need now that Usopp's going away. And in the live action, she has nobody. Everyone's gone. Everything. Mary's dead. The kids don't exist. She's alone, which is unfortunate. But I understand they're going for a more adult and mature theme, as well as her breaking out of her shell and becoming an independent woman, which is a good thing. But I still feel like I personally would have rather had at least someone like Mary survive to kind of be there, to be her confidant, to be someone when she needed to talk to someone now that she doesn't have Usopp. But that's my personal opinion on that. We had the Buggy. I loved the character cast for Buggy. He was in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Deke. Just a great actor. I loved him. It was really, really fun, really cool. I do miss the fact that we don't get to see Richie the lion. Where's Richie? I'm hoping that we might get to see him in the future. But yeah, definitely everything played out pretty much the same way. All the important parts played out the same way as the East Blue arc, in my opinion. I said the real payoff was going to be the Nami arc. The emotional, if they could get that done right, the emotional aspect of it, just the feeling you get when she's crying for help and Luffy reaches down and puts the hat on and says, "I'm here to help you," right? Like, of course I'll help you, right? Of course I'll make it right. Was just really awesome. The fact that they did most of the same attacks that he uses throughout the show, Gum Gum Gatling, Gum Gum Pistol, what is it? Gum Gum Battle Axe to destroy to finish off Arlong. That was super good. I also did like how they used Battle Axe to finish off Arlong, but they used his other attacks to finish off Arlong Park. Like, his foot couldn't bring down an entire building. It could bring down Arlong, but then he had already kind of brought down the building ahead of time. That was kind of just more of a realistic view on it. I like the all great fighters call it their finishing moves, which is really great. The kind of martial arts and fighting style of Sanji was really nice to see. I'm really hoping we get to see it more, just because we don't get to see it until episode 6, so pretty much 3/4 throughout the thing, and so that's it's nice to be able to see that. I was kind of weirded out by the interaction of Garp and Luffy this early in the show, but I don't think it takes away from it. I definitely think that, like, I thought that maybe they were trying to change the character of Garp, but really they give lots of moments where you can see he's the same old. Like Luffy, he's a Marine. It's his job to help people and uphold justice, but he's also, kind of a goof. He's led by his emotions. He's a free spirit, right? You can kind of see that deep down in his interactions, like when he wants to stay at the Baratier and have food, right? So there's lots of cool interactions. The character of Mihawk was really cool. I really enjoyed that as well. Just everything was just really good about this show, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, and I'm speculating, right? Like, I'll probably do a speculation video of what I think they should get accomplished in season 2, if and when we get it. And I'm hoping, and I already was talking to my wife about things that they might have to cut out if they're only going to do 8 episodes, right? We'll see what happens, right? Like, maybe they'll get 12, maybe they'll get more episodes, right? Maybe they'll get 13, and they can flush out a little bit more and do a little bit more in season 2. I definitely think if they do season 2, they have to get to the end of the Alabasta arc, which is a good chunk of episodes, really, if you think about it. Because by the time you get to the end of Nami's episode, I think we're somewhere in the range of episode 60, whereas by the time you get to the end of the Alabasta arc, you have to get to the about 130, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. One of the things I wasn't too excited about is the when we got to see Nojiko, she was race swapped. I feel like there was enough of a diverse cast that was not a necessary addition to the show. But, I mean, her character really is so much smaller in this series compared to the anime that I don't think it necessarily makes a difference. But, the actress, did a good job. She portrayed the role really well. I just think the race swap was kind of silly in a series that is already very diverse in characters and just differences. There's a couple other characters we were missing. We were missing the Django guy who worked for Kuro, as well as we missed the full body guy, the guys who end up working for Hina down the line. They're not really important. They're kind of goofy characters, so I can see cutting them out. But we'll see what happens, and if we get a season 2, what other stuff we get, what other stuff we don't get. But it definitely felt like they stayed true to the spirit of One Piece. Ended off with the barrel scene, with them, saying their dreams, what was going to happen. Every time Inaki said, said, "I'm going to be king of the pirates," and it felt like you were watching the animated Luffy say the same thing. He may have said it in a different way or a different tone, but he really embodied that spirit whenever he said those statements. So that was really cool. I enjoyed it immensely. It's worth a watch if you're not a One Piece fan. It's worth a watch because it's, you'll just see it as a standalone show. If you are a fan, hey, it's just more One Piece to watch while you're waiting for more episodes, more whether they be subbed or dubbed. So it can't hurt. I feel like they did a really great job, and I can't wait to see if we get a season 2. So, tell me what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this series? Do you think it was worthwhile, or are you waiting? Are you waiting for season 2, or you're hoping it doesn't come? Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.